Hi, Chris DeLeon, founder of HomeTeam GameDev, and today specifically answering an important question I've recently received from someone about HomeTeam GameDev and how it operates. Now, they wanted to know because they've seen on our website, they've heard in our materials that our stuff is really good for beginners. A lot of people come in with no experience. We get them ramped up, get them caught up, get them involved in projects, get them releasing games. And is that all it's for? What does it mean? Can someone be too experienced to take part in and benefit from HomeTeam's approach? And I'm excited to say, no, that's not really the case. We've got people who, the framing of the question was, okay, what if someone's already been a student? What if they've already done some game jams? What if they already have some games on itch? And a number of our members came in from exactly that background. Now, like I said, we do have people come in with no background. We have enough materials, support, services, etc. to ramp people up fully. But a number of our people who have been project leads, who've been successful contributors, who've worked on a big variety of released games, have come in from, in some cases, years of doing solo jam projects. In some cases, literally a few of them have game development degrees from, say, Full Sail or USC. In other cases, we've got people in our group who have released commercial games on their own time. Or we have, in fact, a Nintendo-approved developer got a game coming out on both Steam and Switch outside of HomeTeam, during which he's still involved in HomeTeam projects. We've had people on our projects now for years who are, I don't want to get too specific here, a principal security engineer at a major games platform that you've definitely used or have lots of friends who use. These are things that we don't normally advertise or make a big point of for a variety of reasons, right? We don't want to either intimidate people who are coming in because you don't have to be at that level to participate. Also because we don't necessarily want people joining just to try to get at these people. That's not cool. That's not what it's about. We're just here to create and collaborate together. But in many cases, like we've had people who've been on large best-selling mobile games that in our group, it's their chance to do the weird, bizarre, more personal, silly, goofy projects that they know that there's not really a commercial case for. We've got people who are professionally game designers, professionally game producers in studios, where within a home team, they're working on either a whole different set of skills. So say, like I say, a producer at a big company, but in home team, getting to try programming, getting to do some level design, getting to do sound effects, which the office job isn't going to let you if you don't have a background in it. In home team, we exist to let you do whatever you feel like doing. Or another case, so we've got someone who they were making for years their career selling music, custom original soundtracks for games on Steam. That was their work. They came into HomeTeam, made music for HomeTeam games. But there's an important distinction here. When they make music for HomeTeam games, it's more like when they were starting out making music and they would just riff on stuff and have fun with it, make whatever they felt like, whatever came to mind. Really kind of the jam level of energy and pressure, in that nobody's pushing back on it. Nobody's fighting you over it. Nobody's saying like, no, it's got to be more like this because of our focus groups or our testing or our brand IP called and said it's got to be different. Unlike the actual professional work, which is, again, respectable, solid, well-paying if you're great at it, still involves thousands of iterations, extra time, might take many more cycles of iteration, feedback, bounce back, planning, production, etc. to get it to where it's got to be. Versus in our case, they can kind of say, here's a sketch of a song I started a while back. I never really found a place for it. I think it kind of fits this. I'm going to riff on it a bit. I'm going to expand it a little bit, maybe make some loops, cut it into Fmod, throw it over the wall. And we're just grateful to have it because it's a cool custom soundtrack. And part of what's great about HomeTeam's approach is that we can very seamlessly and constructively fit all these people together on the same projects. We've got these people I'm just talking about right alongside on the same teams as people making their first model, people making their first code, people doing their first art, people doing their first game sound effects. And that is very much the energy and vibe of our group, where they're helping each other out, they're answering questions. And it's also because, like I said, some of the time, that person making their first model is professionally a programmer. That person making their first code is professionally an artist. And we've even had people, speaking of which, who've come in from, they've got formal training and backgrounds in professional grade audio or art, but maybe even though they've been doing that as their career for a while, they haven't yet broken into doing it for games. And in those cases, what we've sometimes seen is somebody comes in with that background and they add to their portfolio, which might have included like TV commercials and other solid, real commercial paying work. They've added to their portfolio within a span of maybe half a year with us, 3, 4, 5 released team games on bigger schedules that show, in fact, I can apply my skills to digital real time. I can do it for games. And then I'll use that to help move them over to opportunities at, again, I don't want to name check specific studios or people here, working on some bigger franchises of games that have a lot of more kind of attention around them than any given project to make out of HomeTeam, because our stuff is about practice, it's about fun, it's about recreation, it's about people getting to choose whatever they want to do. And again, it's where folks who are already in industry are in our group as well sometimes, because this is their outlet to much more like when they were a college student, or much more like maybe they never were a college student, much more that kind of energy of I feel like making something. I don't care if there's a market for it. I don't care if it's saturated. I don't care if the world doesn't need another Space Invaders knockoff. I don't know. I've never made an Infinite Runner. I want to do that now. I've never got a chance to make a sci-fi game. That sounds fun. Let's do a sci-fi game. And that's the energy. That's what we do in HomeTeam. And I think one of the other great things of an indicator, if you really can't be too experienced to take part in HomeTeam, is that we've had people who 2 or 3 times become returners. They'll take part in our group. They'll lead projects. They'll be on projects. They get a lot of cool things done. Something else changes in life. Maybe they move. Maybe they're shifting careers. Time priorities change. Some other major life event changes circumstance for a little while. They come back. Because it wasn't just an onboarding ramp to learn game development. It wasn't just, now it was that. In many cases, some of these people had never made a game before they got involved. They never led a project, a big team project beyond the scope of a jam. But it's more than just a ramp up on how to do that. It's also an opportunity to keep meeting new people and working with them. Keep making new great connections. Part of what's going on here, right, is that, okay, you're on this team environment, you're working with beginners. One reason why you don't mind working with beginners is that if they are having some difficulties, I'm there to help them. You don't have to. Now, a bit of the feedback between team members is part of the learning process, but if it goes past the threshold of an easy Slack comment, you can point them towards me. I work with these people day in and day out, hour after hour after hour on Zoom calls. Just, that's what I do. That's what I love to do. Part of my role is making videos just like this, like the other 900 some videos you see on this channel and my other free courses, my podcast, my other kind of stuff, to help constantly bring you more people who want to make games with you. To keep not just bringing you people, but helping train them up, get them on the same page, get them the right mentality so they're constructive, so they're positive, so they're supportive, collaborative people to work with. And that's a case where if the part that you want to work on in whatever few hours you have a week, and like I say, most of our people aren't doing this full time, most of them have a few hours here and there. In those cases, we help you get more value out of that time, being able to connect it into a bigger process so it's going to come together. All the different parts of game development that you want to focus on, if you want to work on your art, your programming, your design, your writing, whatever part of the craft, we've created a situation where you can just focus on that. You don't have to worry about taking a huge chunk of your time instead trying to figure out how to find teammates, how to get project options, feeling stuck to the only project you got, because any given time we have several projects going on, you can just freely drift between as your availability, as your interest changes and shifts. So anyway, lots of advantages there. It's not just something for people who are totally new or starting out. We have plenty of those folks. They're doing great in our group. That said, if you want to apply right now because you're experienced, we'll help you meet other experienced people, help you connect to other experienced people, including obviously this video is going to lead some other ones just like you to also come join in at HomeTeamGameDev.com is where you can apply. Cost nothing to apply. You're under no obligation. You can change your mind later. And it's only 1 week at a time. So if you check it out, decide it's not for you, call it off. Nothing past that point. There's no long-term contract in place. We don't lock you in for a year. There's no initiation fee. None of that noise. I've heard someone say they're a little concerned. It seems like there's a huge wait list. There really isn't. At this point, we're probably about a month, maybe a month or two out, depending on the amount of applications that say coming after a video like this tend to spike a little bit. But probably, like I say, month and a half after this video, that may change over time. A couple of notes about that. That is assuming that if you're going to be a paying member paying dues. We also have an option there for Patreon supported plans if you can't afford the dues for whatever your situation. We don't ask the details. We don't ask you to prove it. But there's a different option there. That's a longer wait list. That's probably at this point maybe half a year or so. Last I checked, maybe a little bit longer. That fluctuates depending on the amount of applications for that. But again, not staggering, right? Not years. And it still gives you time between now and then to be getting ramped up, learning, practicing, skilling up, to be more ready to get even more out of it. And anyway, this is a case where you can go there, you can apply. Again, you can think about it. You'll see when your application is accepted in the future. Hear back, decide if you want to still do it then. We're actually probably, like I mentioned a few videos ago, starting a new group in Q1 2021. So in the next few months. So if we, whatever reason, run into not enough applications rolling in, or if we run up with not enough openings of people exiting to fill the amount of applications rolling in, we spin up a third group on the same formula as our Outpost community. And like that, we can fit another 30, 40, 50 people. No problem. It's like our current groups that currently actually only a year after Outpost started, it's already at the same level of productivity and project count as Apollo, which had a 5-year head start. So we're getting better at this each time. But all 3 communities, 2 right now, 3rd coming up soon. We have an openings in the not too distant future. HomeTeamGameDev.com is a place to apply and find out more. Thanks for following along. Can't be too experienced for HomeTeam. I look forward to making games together. Bye for now.